1. In strictest confidence. 18 March, 1816. The Countess Pandros to Lady Patricia Hamilton. My dearest, as to what you tell me of the exploits of Earl Godwin, I can only say that nothing will ever surprise me. The former Countess Godwin, who was, as you know, one of my very dearest friends, would turn in her grave if she knew that her son was entertaining opera singers in her house. And I shudder to think that one of these infamous women may actually be living with him. How his poor wife is able to hold her head high, I shall never know. Helene has always showed edifying composure, although I did hear a whisper, just a whisper, suggesting that she may request a divorce. I can't imagine how much that would cost, but Godwin must have at least £15,000 a year, and can probably afford it. At any rate, my dear, what I am truly longing to hear about are your plans for sweet Patricia's debut. Didn't you tell me that you were planning a ball for the weekend of the 5th? Mrs. Elizabeth Remable tells me. 21 April, 1816. Helene Godwin, Countess Godwin, to her mother, currently residing in Bath. Dear Mother, I am most sympathetic to your distress over the continuing debacle of my marriage. I fully recognize that my decision to elope with Rees brought scandal into the family, but I would remind you that the elopement was years ago. I am equally aware that a divorce would be far more grievous. But I beg of you, please accept my decision. I simply cannot continue in this fashion. I am heartsick when I think of my life. Your loving daughter, Helene, Countess Godwin. 22 April, 1816. Rees Holland, Earl Godwin, to his brother, a vicar in the North Country.
Dear Tom, things are all right here. Yes, I know that you're fretting over my infamous reputation, but you'll simply have to overlook my slurs on the family name. I assure you that my sins are even more plenteous than your pious correspondents have told you. Women dance on top of the table in the dining room daily. Yours, with all proper sentiment, Rees.
22 April, 1816. Miss Patricia Hamilton to Miss Prunella Forbes Shacklet. Dear Prunes, it is too bad of your mamma to bury you in the country. When is she planning to bring you to town? I assure you that it is already very crowded here, and if one does not make an appointment, it is impossible to find a mantua maker who will even discuss a court gown. But, Prunes, I met the most absolutely fascinating man yesterday. He is, apparently, quite notorious, a veritable rake. I am not going to put his name here, in case my abominable little brother obtains this letter before I mail it, but he is an Earl, and his initials are R.H. You can look him up in Debrett's. Apparently he threw his wife out of the house some years ago, and now lives with an opera singer. My mother, as you can imagine, was in a flurry of anxiety, and told me later not to even think of dancing with him, as there is talk of a divorce. Imagine me dancing with a divorced man. Naturally, I shall do it if the opportunity ever presents itself. 23 May, 1816. Rees Holland, Earl Godwin, to Helene Holland, Countess Godwin.
Helene, if you'd like to see me, you'll have to come to the house, as I'm trying to finish a score that's needed in rehearsal directly. To what do I owe this charming, if unexpected, pleasure? I trust you're not going to request a divorce again, as my answer will be the same as the last. I'll tell Sims to wait for a reply, as I think it doubtful that you will find the backbone to enter this den of iniquity. Rees. Should I say, your darling husband?
23 May, 1816. Mr. Ned Suffolk.